All right, you're listening to Big Blend Radio, live from Hawaii. No, not really. We're in Tucson, but we're going to talk about Hawaii. You're listening to Big Blend Radio with Nancy and Lisa, the publishers of BigBlendMagazines.com. And our next guest is writer and traveler Eva Eldridge, and she's joining us to talk about her visit to the Volcanoes National Park on the big island of Hawaii. Hawaii. Eva, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Well,
good.
you know, why are you just here with us? You know, this is stupid. You're on the phone.
Yeah.
You know, this is
I know.
great. This is ridiculous. You should have just come over and sat with us through the whole show, you know?
I could have done that.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we'll use our brain next time. You know, I am blonde. Okay, it takes me a while, but I'm getting there. So this is, you know, I think you going to Hawaii, and then you wrote a really good article. We're going to be featuring it. Actually, it's going to go on NatureConnectionMagazine.com because it's really, when you talk about the volcanoes, that's really part of the geology and what happens with nature and rocks and fire and all this good stuff.
So cool.
And I was looking at your photos, and I'm still tripping out on them because here you have lava and you have flowers popping out of lava.
Isn't that amazing?
It was amazing. That's part of the fascination of that whole place.
Oh man! So when did you go again? This was in the. Well, I'm thinking you went right kind of around the time when we went and started our Spirit of America tour, when we did the, you know, because everybody listening, if you haven't heard by now on all our shows, we're on a 5-year national tour of the country promoting our national parks, all 398 of them. And this was part of, you know, when Eva came over to take our plans because we're traveling so much. We were talking about you just came back from Volcanoes National Park, and you know, this wasn't. Was it spring, summer? I'm trying to figure out.
It was June.
Yeah,
We
June.
were there the first or the second week of June.
And it seemed like it was cool. Reading your article, it seemed like the weather was pretty nice, like cool.
It was gorgeous, and it was unexpected. I expected it to be hotter, but where we were on the rainy side, it was very nice. And of course, you're up in a little altitude once you get up to the volcanoes, so it was surprisingly cool there. Not cold, not even really jacket weather, but not hot.
What was it for you? Because when I was looking at your photos, it seemed that everything was just really drastic. Like, yet the drastic part of it can be softening too, because everything was like, it was like, here's the flower, then here's the big lava. And what's up with the lava on the road?
That used to be, I think everybody's heard about this in the news, that there's a subdivision, and then the lava in the 70s started coming down and slowly but surely has taken that subdivision, and it finally overran the last house not too long ago. But that's where that road actually went all the way around. It came down Chain of Craters Roads and went down around the coast and actually out towards where we were staying, and then the lava flow kind of blocked that off.
Wow.
And it's a huge lava flow, obviously.
Yeah, I mean.
So you mean to tell me the road construction crew couldn't tell where the lava should go and tell it to go there?
No, you can't. I mean, you don't know. It's the whole island. When you look at the volcanic map of the island, like the north part of the island, that's pretty dormant. That's stable. They're not worried about lava flows. But the rest of the island, there's different levels of danger zones, and that whole area where Volcanoes National Park is, that all is part of the East Rift Zone, and you don't know where it's going to pop up next.
Wow.
So there's a whole series of craters going all the way down there.
So this is all
beautiful.
I'm like trying to figure out, because I know we're going to have to do this on our tour, which is
right.
So, you know, we've got Saguaro National Park in our backyard here, and I think each one has got a unique thing to it. I can't really say one park is better than the other, because every time I start to go, it's kind of like everywhere I go to is my favorite one, the last one, you know?
Yeah. Right.
How many times did you go to this one, at the Volcanoes?
3.
Yeah?
You buy a ticket, and ticket's good for a week, which is a fabulous deal. If you're going to plug the Parks Department, you know, that's a fabulous thing. So we went, and, you know, some of the places are just crowded. There's a lava tube that you can walk through. and it was cram-packed with people because it's the big tourist attraction there. So we kind of bypassed that, and we went down the Chain of Craters Road, and there's many, many craters, and they're all overgrown. Most of them are overgrown, not all of them, but or some. The rims have vegetation, but there's a lot of they're craters, and there's steam still coming out of some of the bottom of the craters.
I know, that's what I was reading about. I'm like, that's trippy. Did you ever feel kind of nervous about the steam actually blowing up into a volcano?
No, but you have to. There's warnings all over the road saying, please be careful because you're getting noxious gases with that. I don't remember which ones, but there are gases coming out with the actual water vapor. So they say if you start feeling lightheaded or dizzy or short of breath, get out of there because you don't know, and you don't know which way the winds are going to blow, and you could be in that zone.
So when you say they're overgrown, are you saying at the bottom of the crater there's a lot of vegetation?
The rim. Oh. Oops, sorry.
Are you there?
You're not. Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Hello.
But
the rims are grown over.
Okay. So there's a lot of vegetation growing out of the rims.
Right. It's a big. So you have a big crater. So the bottom of the crater is bare rock still, with little steamy things coming out, and then the rims though already have trees and stuff growing on them, or maybe some of the edges never were destroyed by the volcanoes, by the eruption. But I think a lot of it's pretty new. Anyway, so
cool.
I don't think I sent you any of those pictures.
You sent us a lot, and I can't wait. I think Nancy's going to make a little slideshow of it and we have to use Michael and Spider's music.
It's fascinating.
Too on that. What I want to ask you is you're talking about it being, busy with tourists, right?
Right.
And just personally want to ask you this, especially with what's going on in the country right now. We're facing some really big budget issues, and I have to ask you, I just can't help it. We're looking at parks actually closing down and park rangers being taken off of the payroll. And you start to think about the security measures. And I brought this up on our show the other day with John Gardner from the National Parks Conservation Association. I said, well, if we close a park down, number one, what's our chances of bringing it back? But what about the security and the safety of an area? I mean, going to that park, could you imagine what would happen if that closed down? Would that be something that would be scary? From what I'm hearing, with the gases coming up, and you kind of have to have some kind of safety measures.
It's not explosive like Mount St. Helens, so you don't have that. I mean, look how people live by that, by those volcanoes.
Right.
This is slower, and there are a couple of villages, Volcano Village, that's fairly close to the park entrance. But I think they're not in the. They might be. Anyway, I don't know. I think if they actually closed something like that down, you would have people doing stupid things like trying to crawl around in the caldera, in the active one. I really think if you didn't have people watching that, and being on guard, you'd just have people doing dumb things.
That's my fear of the parks too.
Right. I think the people living there are pretty aware of what lava does and that the gases come out.
Right. That people come in who don't really get it.
Right.
And do stupid things.
Now I want to ask you this also as a writer, because you write. I know you travel around going from one writers' conference to the other, and you wrote this wonderful article for us too. And thank you for that. I want to ask, when you go to a place like this, how does it feel for creativity for you?
It used to not. I just started this writing process, so now I take notes. When I go there, I think about how I feel. I think about what things there are truly amazing, and then I take notes.
The one thing that really fascinates me, and I can't wait to go there, is I don't know why I have this thing about dinosaurs. I really want to know what the Earth was like before we messed it up. I want to go back to the dinosaur day, and I always think volcanoes, dinosaurs, big eggheads is part of it.
Well, those volcanoes are pretty darn big and scary. You can't fight it. You know, if the lava's flowing, you better get out of the way.
Wow.
So, and it's stark. The pictures I sent you are stark. There's nothing left. It burns everything.
But then plants grow up between it.
That's what amazed me.
Amazing.
What was the most amazing thing to you going to that park? What really just, for you personally, went, wow?
The acres and acres and acres of black lava, black, gray, cracked, and the different shapes it forms. So you're standing there, and there's just the whole, it looks like a bomb blast because there's nothing. I mean, there's little plants coming. There's little tiny ferns here and there. But you can see where this lava has just completely wiped out everything. And then there's that huge escarpment. It takes you a while to drive down that. So you're driving in, you know, the switchbacks down that thing. And when you look back up, it's amazing. So all of that is new, is all lava. Wow. And how it came down over the, you know, I guess I'm not really good on my history there, a couple of 100 years or so where it's adding new land. It's you can't capture it with a camera because you can't get the perspective of how big that escarpment is.
Wow.
And then when you look down into the water, it's 50 feet at least down to the water.
Wow.
It's a lot thicker than you think. It doesn't seem that way. The perspective is different. You're looking at it and you think the water, because you look out over it and you see the ocean and you think the water is lapping right there on the edge, but it's not.
Wow.
That's what blew me away. Is just
when I was reading that in your article, I was like, wow, this is wild. I think
awesome.
Do you think really to get the full thing, people actually have to go and experience this? And it kind of gives us a history of what natural history is, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I think people should go and see what it is, actually. And it's like the Grand Canyon. Do you ever get the full feel of the Grand Canyon until you're there?
No, you can't.
And I want to go back.
And you can photograph and video and do whatever you want, but it is nothing like when you're standing right there.
Eva, you've traveled a lot. You know, and besides the Volcanoes National Park, where is the most amazing place that you've been to? And I know right now we're off of the live air, just so everyone knows, but we are recording. But real quick, where's the most amazing place you've been to personally?
What are you talking about?
Just
nature-wise?
Yeah,
nature-wise or doing stuff-wise?
Anything-wise, for you personally, where you'd say, I want to go back to that place?
Argentina.
Oh, wow. Cool.
I loved Argentina. I love the country. I love the people. In one end you have, like, alpine peaks. The other side you have the Iguazu Falls, which was an amazing, amazing falls. You know, rainforest and so much water, I couldn't even imagine how much water there was. Buenos Aires was a huge city, but it was very cool.
Ooh. I want to go there. I've always wanted to go there. Now, where do you want to go next?
I want to go to Europe. I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
And I know that's when it's boring, and I'm not sure. It depends on what opportunities come up.
Right.
I like that. That I think is not boring whatsoever.
Put a map of the world on the wall.
Throw a dart. All right. Well, I think you should come hang out with us when we travel a little bit on the tour.
I'd love to.
I think there's something here we got to do.
Yeah.
And I look forward to tomorrow night. We're going to see you, and I got a whole bunch of books for you, Eva.
Oh boy.
I look forward to it. And thank you so much for the article and for also supporting our national parks. You know how dear it is for us, and it is America's best idea, and it is a national treasure that we should really keep protected. I personally feel that, and I'm glad you got to experience that, and I can't wait to go. I'm sitting there going, you know, when people write articles like what you did, I'm like, I want to go now. So thank you for that.
Well, okay, so when you go, I'll go with you.
Okay.
I'll go back there.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Alrighty
you do know we're going to call you on this, right?
Yeah.
Don't even think.
I hope by that time I have the ability to be able to go.
Oh no, you will be. You trust me. Trust me, you will. I will pick you up, put it in the car, and we're going to fly over in my car.
We will actually make a plan there.
We'll have
now we have a goal here. We'll make it happen.
There's stuff there you would really like.
On
the big island of Hawaii. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been dying to go there for years.
I
you have
just
no
love
idea.
volcanoes, and I don't even know why.
Well, I know we're going to go off air here completely, and I want to thank everybody for joining us. And Eva, thank you so much for calling to the show. Next time, just come over, or we'll come see you. So we can do it properly, and just be there. And I'm like, gosh, we're in Tucson. How crazy is that? So everybody, again, that was Eva Eldridge, a writer, traveler. And you're going to be able to read her article on natureconnectionmagazine.com. And thank you, everybody. Don't forget, go to bigblendmagazines.com and sign up for our newsletter. Follow us on Twitter at BigBlendMag, and we're on Facebook under Big Blend Magazine. Thanks, Eva.
Thanks.
Take care. See you soon. Thank you, everybody.
See you tomorrow.
And, hey, happy Friday.